Her name is Perpetua Waithera. Her classification is social sciences and psychology, and she's specialized in relationship coaching. She'll tell us more about what that entails. She has worked in various sectors, corporate, NGO, education sector. And so let's put our hands together and welcome Perpetua.
Okay, yes, sir, I have the floor.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay. So I can't move around a lot. So the other day, I was having a business discussion with one of my good friends. He's a successful businessman. He lives and works in the leafy parts of Nairobi. And I was asking him for some business advice. So when we were discussing the business strategy, he said to me, tell me where you want to be in 5 or 10 years, and then let's work backwards. In other words, he asked me, what do I want to do with this business? Where do I want to end up? What do I want to achieve by the end? Like at the end, say, if I'm going to tell the business, what do I want to achieve? And he said, let's work backwards. And now I'm standing here in front of you and I'm thinking, isn't that how we are meant to do life? You think about the end and then you work backwards. What do you think? Would it be a good strategy? If it got him to the leafy suburbs of Nairobi, would it assure us of us to say that, yes, I had a successful life? Yeah? Okay, good. So, I have been introduced as a social scientist by Peter. I must say that I wear many hats, but the hat that I'm most passionate about is the one on relationship coaching. Because the quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life. And I know that you will agree with me if you really, really think about it. I want to invite us to do a little exercise. Okay? I assume that we are in a very safe environment. Our wallets will not disappear. I want us to close our eyes. I want you to close your eyes with me. Close your eyes. And think about how old are you? You don't have to answer, but just how old are you right now? Okay, so now you know your age. Add another 5 years. 5 years from now, how old will you be? Okay. 5 years later, you're there 5 years later from now. You're in your bed. Okay, not necessarily your bed, but you're in a bed. You're on your deathbed. 5 years from now. Yeah? You're not in pain and you're not scared. But what's on your mind? You will be leaving this earth in a day or two. You have a couple of hours. Remember, you're comfortable, you're not in pain, and you're not afraid. What is on your mind right now? Okay. Maybe the more important question would have been, who is on your mind? Is it? Is it what or who? It's who. I think that for most of us, if not all of us, the question is who? Who is on your mind? Okay, we can open our eyes. Now, I must warn you that the way I facilitate my session is that I don't have answers, but I want to invite you to discuss with me the critical aspects of life. Okay? And we are going to think together, we are going to discuss together. Now, I want you to hold on to those answers you have. Whatever was on your mind, whoever was in your mind. Okay? And I want us to do a slightly different exercise. I had asked for us to be brought for these papers, and I'm hoping we have pens. Don't worry if they're written on one side, we just need one side. So you please pick one and pass it around. Pick one and pass it around. Make sure you have a piece of paper. Pick one and pass it. And make sure you have a pen. You might have done this exercise before. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But this is what I've drawn on my paper. I have drawn a line straight down the paper. This is it horizontal? No, diagonal, and then horizontal, and then I've put a cross, yeah, so that we have 8 points. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, if you have 2 pens, you can help your neighbor. If you need a pen, I can lend you mine. Yes. If you need a pen, okay, great.
You drew that?
Yes, yeah. Just draw, it's sort of like a star. You draw a line down, a line across, and then a star, so that you have 8 points. Okay? Yeah, great. As long as you do a line down and a line across, and then diagonal across the page like that, you'll have your 5 points. At the very top point here, if you don't have a pen, you can let us know. At the very top here, you are going to write personal contribution to the world. Personal contribution to the world. Stroke, sense of meaning. Personal contribution to the world, stroke, sense of meaning.
Where?
At the top, at the very top. Then we're going to go clockwise. So your personal contribution to the world, stroke meaning. Your personal contribution to the world, stroke meaning. Yes, meaning, stroke meaning, your sense of meaning. Like let me explain as we go along. So this is what you give to the world, and you don't have to be paid for it. This is a child you're taking care of, the orphan in your house. This is the school fees you contribute to some children who need school fees. This is your contribution to the kids with special needs. This is you teaching Sunday school. This is you mentoring young people, your contribution to the world. You don't get anything back. You're saying, this is what I'm giving to the world. And that is how you get your sense of meaning, okay? Then next, clockwise, you do your finances. Finances, the next point, finances. Your finances. And when you talk about your finances, you're talking about your job, your business, your source of income, and not only that, how you're able to plan your bills. Are your finances, are you happy with like maybe your level of debt, your budgeting, everything to do with your finances. How you get your money, how you spend it, how you invest it. Then the next one is your health. Health. Under health, we are going to talk about the things you do for your body to keep healthy. The things you do for your body to keep healthy, like how you eat, if you exercise, what you eat, if you rest enough, if you have a medical condition, if you're able to manage it well so that it's well managed, and how you're preventing getting health conditions, right? That is under health. And if someone has an extra pen, I think some of us don't have pens. Yes, let's try and share so that we work together. Then the next one, you write your spiritual life. Your spiritual life, we are going clockwise, your spiritual life. Your relationship with a higher power. Maybe if you're Christian, you think about, do you read the Bible enough? Do you go to church enough? Do you pray enough? How is your Christian life? If you're a Muslim, the same. Do you read your Quran? Do you pray as required? And all that. Then down below, that should be, if you're looking at your clock, should be 6 o'clock. You're looking at your social relationships. Social relationships are relationships with your family, relationships with your friends, relationship with your neighbors, you know, the people you call, the people you text, the people who help you when you have a problem, the people you do life with. That's your social relationships. Then the next one is your personal growth and development. Personal growth and development, whether you went back to school to do your diploma or your degree or your master's, whether you're learning a skill, maybe you're teaching yourself a new language, how to cook, maybe you joined a new club and you're learning new things, personal growth and development. Then the next one is fun. Fun. And your stroke hobbies. Yeah, do we still have fun or did we forget to have fun? And when we talk about fun, we're talking about healthy fun. Yeah, healthy fun, eh? Yeah, the way you have fun needs it needs to leave you healthy, eh? Not to worse off. It shouldn't leave you without a liver, for example. Yeah.
Can it be a combination of the two? Can it be a combination of the two?
As long as it's healthy. You know, there's a limit to everything, eh? So are you doing it responsibly? Whatever it is you're doing, are you doing it responsibly? Sawa. Great. And then the next one is your love life. Your love life. So do we have a love life or not? And how do we score it? So we've done all our 8 points, eh? Let me just run through them quickly. Personal contribution to the world, sense of meaning, finances, health, spiritual life, social relationships, personal growth and development, fun, love life. Now, I want you to think as the very top, where you are writing the words, you think of it as 10. And the center of this should be 0. So on every aspect you're looking at, on a scale of 1 to 10, how am I doing with regard to my finances? On a scale of 1 to 10, how am I with my spiritual life? And it's sort of like, it's something that you know, you don't have to go into the details. In your mind, you know, my love life sai equals 0. I'm doing well, I'm at 8, eh? You know. And when you're looking at your relationships, you're looking at, are they mutually beneficial? Are they working? Is there more harmony than conflict and all that? Eh? You understand?
Must you be happy?
Social relationships. Social relationship. These are social relationships. Yeah, relationship with your relatives, your neighbors, your colleagues. I said the people you do life with. Sawa. Yeah. I'm going to give us 3 minutes to rate ourselves. Okay, let me make them 5. So you rate yourself with regard to your personal contribution to the world. Are you doing something?
So you indicated the 2 or 5?
Yes, and you can estimate along that line where 2 is, where 5 is. Yes, you understand? 10 is at the very end of your line. Yeah. So you quickly rate yourself. Because this is about what? Work-life balance. Yes. Very good. You can actually calibrate to make your life easier. You do the 2 small calibrations, kama zile za ruler. Yeah, like where 1 is, where 2 is, where 3 is. Then you can do your analysis and be genuine with yourself. Eh? Yeah. Mushamaliza? Mume, have you scored yourself? Okay, great. Awesome. Let's give the rest of us some time. Yeah? So we can take another 2 minutes. No copying, and no peeping. Don't peep at your neighbors. So have you scored yourself? So the way you score yourself is that you put a star at 2 or at 5 or at 10 or at 0. You put a star. Okay, you put a star. Yeah.
Are we going to draw like?
Yes. Finally, we are going to draw a wheel. Yeah, we are going to draw a wheel so that you link your 2 to the 5 to the 10 to the 7.
So you're not asking this one.
No, I will not ask you to tell you your personal. This is for our personal consumption. And that's why we are saying don't peep. If you have gotten it, you can help your neighbor. Yeah. Oh, great. I can see some of us are doing very well. Can I use yours as an example? You've done this before. Great. Oh, nice. So you can say this. It's supposed to look something like this. You understand? Yes. Something like that. But it doesn't have to be a circle, you know. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a circle. It depends on how you're doing in the various components of your life. Okay, how many need more time? How many people need more time?
You'll get a personal session.
Yes, I will give a PR. Yours has a puncher. Is it a triangle or a star?
I can't even describe it.
You can't describe it. So now that we have our wheel, or our star or our triangle or rectangle, yes, or our octopus or trapezium, an identified foreign object, UFO. I want us to look at our piece of paper and note the areas where we are not doing very well. Okay? I want us to note the areas you're not doing very well, and those are the areas where your wheel imeingia ikatoka. It looks like there's like a puncher there. Yeah? It could be your health, it could be your finances, it could be your personal growth and development. You feel like you've really stagnated in your life. And I want us to pick two of those areas where we feel like we could do better. And we write two things that we can start doing today to work on that area. They said that there's no day like today. Yeah, there's no day like today. Just so maybe you can turn your paper and you write those two areas. For example, if mine is finances and fun, my finances are just, I lay awake at night because, you know, I'm always on the verge of being thrown out. Or, you understand, I'm not able to fit in my budget. I'm almost being fired, so I'm worried about my finances. So that means I would be worried about that area. That means I would be scoring like 2. So I'd write it down as finances, and I would say, what are the 2 things I can start doing today? Small steps to get me where I need to be. Maybe the other area is my love life. Maybe, you know, we fight every day. Things are not good. The children are scared because we're always throwing sufurias at each other. You know. And we don't even we don't communicate, and we have refused to go for therapy. How would you score me? Yeah. How many sufurias can we throw at each other with how many people? But what would you score me? Maybe you'd score me at a 1 or a 2. So I need to write and I love, like, what do I need to do? What can I start doing today? Maybe I need to listen more and talk less. Maybe I need to finally agree to go for therapy. You know, what are those little things? Everyone understands their life. What are those little things we can start doing today? And we're going to take now another 5 minutes to do. This is the most important aspect of this exercise. Committing to some action. One step, a small step towards where we need to be. And then when we finish this, then we will go to the next section of this discussion. Yeah? Okay, 5 minutes. 2 areas. Yeah? 2 areas. Is it adhering to a budget? Is it reading the Bible every day? Is it praying? Is it listening? Is it calling my friends more? Is it going back to my hobby of maybe I used to play football or golf? Yeah? Is it taking my medication on time if I have a condition? Is it eating right? Eating more vegetables and fruits? What is it that you can start doing today? Yeah? Is it maybe supporting that kid who has been asking me to support their school fees for the longest time and deciding, okay, I may not have the whole school fees, but I can give this amount? Yeah? Is it finally teaching Sunday school or volunteering to be in the security committee in your neighborhood? You're giving to the world. Yeah? I think I've given enough ideas. But of course, you need to tweak it to your life situation. Maybe you want to improve your communication skills. Is it joining Toastmasters? Yeah? That is not?
No, being hopeless is not a solution.
Oh, being hopeless? No, being hopeless is not a solution. Yeah? So, one more minute. One more minute. So I want you to take your piece of paper, if you're done, and you fold it and you put it in your wallet or your handbag, because it is your commitment to your life. It is your commitment to your work-life balance. Yeah? It is your commitment to your life and your work-life balance. And review it regularly. Okay? Look at it and say, where am I at on this?
Are we going to have it?
Can
someone else see it?
Yeah, it depends on what you wrote on it. If you feel that you are free to share it with someone, maybe an accountability partner, feel free to do so. Yes. You can actually get an accountability partner to support you. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Great. So I think we are done. Fold your piece of paper, put it in your, in your handbag or your wallet. Now, I want us to focus on the second segment of this discussion. And I want to say that a lot of us are very good at work, in our businesses. In fact, we spent so many years being trained to be doctors, to be business people. We did business education at some point in time. We did home science. We even went to college. And some of us do what we did in college. Some of us learned on the job. We spent years and years planning to be who we are right now. So in terms of work-life balance, which part do you think gets the raw end? The work or the life?
The life.
The life, The life gets the short end of the stick.
Depends who you are.
It depends. Tell us about that.
Some people,
Some people?
it's life.
It's
So they don't invest as much time into their work.
When I was 1824.
When I was 18,
oh, wale wa 1824. Aya wako hapa kwa hii room.
Yes.
But he said is that you're in the media, right? Yeah, so you're doing work. And the retirees. Okay. But remember my question. Do you remember the exercise we did where we are 5 years from now? Now I want us to go back now to that scenario. And I want us to think, what was on your mind? Was it work or life? Were you thinking about your targets? Who here thought about their targets? Who here thought about their bank balance? Who here thought about their budget? Who here thought about getting a new car? Who? Oh, you thought about insurance? Like if you had insurance, if you had paid for insurance.
Yeah.
Why did you think about it?
Because I felt like at that age, in 5 years, if I'm to die in the next 5 years, I'll be leaving behind a very young family. So I just need them to have peace and afford everything.
Peace of mind.
Afford for them.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
See me after this.
There you go. You're already sorted.
But he has no children.
And I like what he has shared, because in the end I heard him talking about his family. So it was not really the insurance. It was the who. It was the who. It was, which?
He doesn't have.
He doesn't have. I'm sure there's a who in his life. I'm sure you have a who, right? Everyone has a who. So for me, it might be my spouse and my kids. For someone else, it might be the mom and the dad. For someone else, it might be the small sister they're taking care of. So everyone in this world has a who. Today I was thinking about something. What does I came through town, and of course there were these people pushing carts. So that guy who pushes the cart in town, he carries your bag for 200 bob, 300 bob. Okay. And the politician, and the insurance, guru, and the mamamboga, and the housewife, and your mom, if she's still alive. And the richest man in the world. What do they have in common? What are they looking forward to at the end of the day?
Peace.
Peace. And where do they get the peace?
Good wealth.
Good wealth. Family.
Love from family.
Yes. At the end of the day, we are all looking forward to going home to a place where we are loved. A place where we are loved, and to people who we love. It doesn't matter whether the lady waiting for you was also selling burgers, or she's a model somewhere, or she has a PhD, or she only speaks Swahili. We all want to go home to a person we love and people who love us, be it our children, Yeah. And yet that is the place that gets the short end of the stick. Every time we are doing life, we always say, I want to be MD. I want to get this tender. I want to sell this number of units if I sell commodities. I want to give service to Safaricom. And we all have steps. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to so-and-so. I'm going to get this capital. I'm going to have my where I do my business has to be on this side of Nairobi so I can get the right customers. But sometimes we forget to start from the end when we think about the relationships in our life. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes we take the people in our lives for granted. Sometimes they take us for granted. And sometimes we don't know what to do about it. And so we go back to doing what we know how to do, which is the grind. Yeah? Some of us run to the church. Some of us run back to work. Some of us run where? We do marathons. Yeah? we run to different things, yeah? And some of those things are nice. Actually, they are good things. Some of us run to the bar. But at the end of it all, we are missing on the one thing, or the one person, or the who we are going to be thinking about at the end.
Yes.
Are we totally helpless? Can we do something about it?
Yes, we can.
We can. Is it important?
Yes.
If you do something about it now, will you feel better when you're lying on that bed? Yeah? You'll feel better. You'll say, I lived right. Yeah, I ran my race and I did my best and I focused on the right thing. We are not saying that the work has to be dropped, because your work is important. But how do we raise also the life, the people we do life with? I often tell people that the people who are closest to us, and I'm putting myself also, I'm thinking with you, the people we do life with, the people who are closest to us, sometimes we don't treat them right. Sometimes we treat colleagues and acquaintances better than we treat the people we sleep next to.
But they are the most hurting.
Look, listen, we are actually, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about us. even that person is in this room. Okay, even the person who hurts me is also in this room, and we are all thinking together. Sometimes we we don't treat each other so well, but I think that we can change that, regardless of where you are at in life. Yeah? So that we go out with a smile. What do you think? So that's my area of passion. I like to encourage people to go home and love their families. Because if you go home and you love your family, if we all go home and we love our families, we're going to solve a lot of the world problems. Yeah? I was speaking with my auntie today, and she told me her car got stolen. And then she asked me, did you decide to teach Sunday school? And so I was wondering, what's the relationship between Sunday school and the car? And she said, if you taught Sunday school, we will have less thieves in the world. What do you think? Do you think she was right?
Yeah.
Okay, she was saying it's about teaching values to kids. When we take our kids to Sunday school, we are teaching values. So if you said, if all our kids go to Sunday school, we'll have less thieves. We'll have less addicts, because our sons and our daughters will feel that they were raised by loving parents, loving, happy parents in a happy environment, and they got the support they needed. So where do you think that this starts? I know not all of us are in relationships, are in romantic relationship. I respect that. Everyone has their season. But those of us who...
Are you talking about romantic or just...
Oh, wow. Very interesting question. How would you want me to define it? If you are, for me, romantic relationship is if you're seeing someone in the long term, you're married, and you're probably raising a family. Okay? It may not always be romantic, but it's a romantic relationship. So is that okay? Are we on the same page? Oh, you're Googling. Wow. Yeah. I'm going to invite you to our Toastmasters meeting, and then you can come and make us laugh also there in Ruaraka Thika Road. So where do you think it begins, by the way? Where do you think all this going home to love your family begins?
And loving yourself.
It begins from you as a person, because you cannot give up
what you don't have.
That's a very good point. You start by loving yourself. But at the same time, we can't live without others. Is there anyone in this world? I was listening to something today, and we actually have a minister of loneliness in the UK. We have a whole ministry on loneliness in the UK. And even the US, they are now saying it's one of the biggest mental health issues, loneliness. What does that say? That yes, we love ourselves, we appreciate ourselves, and we say, yes, I'm an awesome human being, but we need others. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It could be your child, it could be, someone you care about, someone you love. But looking at the social structure that we have, where do you think it begins? Let me go back to that question. Where it starts with the family unit. And who is in the family? Who begins a family unit?
The man.
The man. The man has the responsibility, and the man has a partner, isn't it? Yeah. So when you have a man and he has his partner, and they work together in a respectful, loving way, yeah.
It depends on the community. Matriarchal is it patriarchal? So it can be either.
Yes. We are looking at creating a safe environment for the children. And I know whether it's matriarchal or patriarchal, it works. In whatever community you are, it has been proven to work. So if you have a system where the two work together as a team, then you have a family that is a safe environment for the children. Yeah? And those children grow to be what? Responsible citizens, people who also find meaning in their lives, and people who love themselves, like she said. Because they were not told when mjinga kama mamako, and they were not ignored. When the mom came home from work, she was not like this all the time. All the time, making their the kid feel insignificant. And by the talking on phones, when you wake up in the morning, I want to ask a question. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that you touch?
Your phone.
Your phone.
Alarm.
You wake up, the alarm, which is in the phone.
Yes.
Okay. And before you go to bed, what's the last thing that you touch? Okay, if you're like me, let's do a census. If you're like me, so the last thing that you touch is your phone. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Let's be honest. Yeah. You have to set the alarm and check messages. Yeah. Great. And okay, the first thing you touch in the morning?
The alarm, switch off the alarm.
The phone, isn't it? Okay. And if you sleep next to someone, can you change the narrative? You change the narrative. So I've been told that we have done our time, but before I conclude, just 2 more minutes.
Let me ask the sergeant to give us an extra 5 minutes.
Yes, an extra 5 minutes, just to conclude.
Maybe 5, 10.
10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. You're very kind. Thank you very much. So, I told you that one of my passions is family and relationships, because relationships determine the quality of our lives.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can have the biggest car, you can work in the best building in town, you can have so many zeros in your bank account after the first digit, very many zeros. And but if you don't have someone to love, it can be meaningless. Yeah, it becomes meaningless. But you have people to love, and if you have people who love you, it becomes meaningful because you're able to share your life. So one time, I was seated somewhere and I was thinking, women like to go to seminars and they like to read books about relationships. Women in the house, am I right?
Yes.
Okay, and the men?
We, the men.
You, the man. Do you also like going for seminars and reading books on how to love her? This is what your lady needs from you. How to make money, Very good. Very good. So you see, there's a bit of a disconnect. And I understand, because men and women are wired differently. Yeah, a man doesn't want to read 100 pages of how to love her. He already put a ring on it. Twende kazi. Yeah?
I told her 5 years ago.
It has not changed. And when it changes, you'll tell her. Yeah? So, I thought about what is it that we can do together, man and woman, to discuss these things that are being discussed during the seminars. We discuss those things, just the two of us, in a fun way. And that is how Interossei play was born. Interossei means, it's Maasai for love is forever. And I brought the board here for you to see. It's a board game. It's like snakes and ladders or Monopoly. Okay? How many of us have played snakes and ladders or Monopoly?
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have. Wonderful, wonderful. The 20-year-olds, have you played snakes and ladders? Yeah? So, this is how the board looks like. It has the instructions. This is how the board looks like. So you remember snakes and ladders. So instead of the snakes and everything, we have the two love hearts that are intertwined. And you can see. So the two hearts that are intertwined. And then you start from here and you end here. And so you throw the dice. If you play snakes and ladders, you know you throw the dice. Then you move along the game. When you get to the love heart, you pick a card. So there are cards for him and there are cards for her. And the cards for her have information, have stuff that ladies like. And the cards for him have stuff that have been researched on that guys like. So it's like the guy giving to the lady and the lady giving to the guy. So it's give and take. And it's not about you don't do this, you never do this. No, it's not about that. It's about this is what I'm doing for you right now. This is the loving thing I'm telling you right now. And that is a loving thing that you're telling me right now. Okay. So this is Interossei play. And this supports your work-life balance. How? When you go home, even on those days when it's raining or your budget does not allow it, you can still have quality time with your sweetheart. You go home, you chomoa the game, You light your candles, you dress up, you have your finger food, and you light your candles. You put the music that you like, and you play this game. That gives you quality time, and it allows you to understand your partner better, and it allows you to share love, to give love and to receive love.
Thank you.
Yeah? So, Ronga, so I'm going to, as I wind up, I'm going to pass the cards around. You can sample some of the things that are written on the cards, and then when the cards get there, then I'll pick them. Yeah? Sawa. So these are his cards, they are blue, and these are her cards, and they are pink, and they'll pass through this side. So no, so I am sure that I'll get my 44 cards there. Thank you for listening. If you're interested, no, the cards are not the same. If you're interested in having a copy of Interossei Play, you will see me. I'll be seated there at the corner. Let's go home and love our families. Thank you very much. Yeah. It goes for 3-5. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Perpetua.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Perpetua, thank you. That was a very good job.
Thank you.
One meeting. Please. But don't you think when I look at what you have presented, as I said again, that is a very good talk.
Yes.
But as far as I'm concerned, I think it is in real life, in the current life that we
Yes.
have today.
Yes.
It's a hypothetical situation
Yes.
because this matters from personal contribution
Yes.
to love life
Yes.
to health are all interrelated.
Yes.
That is the sense that somebody is at the end of the day looking for happiness. So if say in the current life that we have today,
Yes.
say if your love life possibly does not work, how then do you balance the others? Because you seem to concentrate more.
Yes, I have concentrated more. Thank you very much for your question. Okay, guys. Wow. So I'm going to respond to him. Let's read the cards quietly. So I have everyone has the place where their focus is. You're listening? Okay. So everyone has the place, the area of passion. So we have discussed together the 8 areas and have zeroed in on the one area that I am passionate about. If I was a finance person, I would have taken a different route on the talk. So I focused on one area, which I think also affects others, especially in the context of the family. But if you're not, if you don't have a romantic partner and you're comfortable with it, you're saying this is my season of discovering myself, of being single, you can actually rate yourself at 8 or 9 or 10 because you're okay. It doesn't give you any distress. And you're saying this is my season right now. It might change 2 years from now. Maybe I used to have a love life and the season came to an end, but now I'm okay. Then you're okay, you can give yourself an 8. But if you don't have a romantic partner and you feel like you need to look for one, then you can take steps to get one. Have I responded?
I will see you.
Okay, see me Kando. Yes?
If you've been doing this for a while,
Yes.
from the feedback you get,
Yes.
how effective is it in terms of making a difference
The game?
in the work like
The game or the talk?
the game?
Oh, the game. Wow, when this game was created, oh, you haven't seen the cards. But let me answer him. When the game was created, I thought the ladies would love it. And then I was surprised at how much the gentlemen loved it. Because the ladies would come back and tell me, my husband keeps telling me, sweetie, let's play the game. So the men, and some men even go as far as telling me, this game has gotten me laid. You know, it's very effective, I would say. It's very effective for couples. Yes.
Because of what the ladies have.
You've liked it already, yeah? Nice, you're getting a copy. It gets you talking. Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Now, sometimes we men. Not skilled enough.
Yes. Okay. Any other question? Yes?
As a single parent,
Yes.
balance, because at times you have to work 3 times. Yeah, so that you can take care of
Yes.
balance
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah, that's a very, very important and important question. I understand. At some point in time, I was raised by a single mom, and I remember thinking, I miss mom. I wish I would spend more time with her. So I understand, and I'm sure she was also thinking the same, but she had to raise school fees. Some situations require for some creativity. Find spaces. You might have to maybe sacrifice other aspects of your life to spend more time with your children. And I'll give an example, although we can talk later, because every situation is different. An example would be, would you sacrifice time to go to the salon to spend it with your children, for example? Or if you go for family events, can you go with your children, if possible, so that you're still in each other's space? And is it also okay for you to say no to some other social commitments so that you can compensate for your children? So we can just think around it, but it's possible. It may not be ideal, but you can always make effort towards it. Yeah?
Social will be out of balance.
Yes. Yes. So like social life. So say I'm a single parent, I have kids, and I also have my girlfriends, right? So I can call them. Or if we plan to have coffee together, we all meet with our kids. So our kids are playing and we're having coffee. There's always a way around it. Not always, but you can always find a way of balancing it out. Yeah. But I understand it's a little bit more challenging. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think our time is over. So I'm going to invite Jerry Kahio to give a vote of thanks. Then for those of us with burning questions about the game and everything that Perpetua has discussed, she'll be at the back to give us more information. Let's give her one more hand. Over to you, Jerry.
Perpetua. Hey, that's a lovely name you have. Your topic was so lovely. I could see some people here texting. I think you have hyped them. I could see some. I saw you texting. They started texting. Yeah, this topic should have come before Valentine. It's something very nice.
Yes.
And what we are asking, the small cats for love.
Yes.
Now, if you tell someone you meet in the kitchen, some houses don't have a kitchen. So why the houses of today are so small. So I'm like, but it's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wish you could get longer time with you. You can make people get married. You can stay together. Now I know from today, there's nothing like the alarm. I'll be telling him, sweetheart, what is the time?
Nice.
So that is
Jerry, thank you very much for that. We have a certificate for you.
Okay.
So thank you for giving us
Okay.
that talk.
Okay.
interesting. Very interesting.